Namaste everyone. I'm Siddhi Parekh and today I'm going to take this class where I'm going to teach you the back bending flow. This flow is going to be all about your back. So it's not like we are just going to do the back bending. We'll also be doing forward folds because there should be a balance between two kind of movements. So we're gonna do that. And there's one thing which the back bending flow is also called heart openers, or the asanas are also called heart openers. So basically when you do back bend, so your ribs kind of create some space for your heart, and it is really great. Also if you're holding on to a lot of emotions which are really hard to come out, so you're also going to feel very light that way as well. So we are going to practice. So if you guys have any kind of back related issues like slip disc or any sort of back pain, please be extra careful while doing this. You don't want to make it worse. Like, you do it in your limit and you will really feel relieved. But if you do like more than your limits, if you go like you don't understand your body and you keep going, then you might be making it worse. So be careful about that. And now we'll start the class. So I'm just going to turn off commenting. So if you guys have to ask anything, just write it in the question box, or else you can ask me towards the end of the class. I'll answer all of those. Alright, so just starting with turning off comments, and let's start. Come on to your mats. Sit comfortably, spine straight, hands on your knees in Chin Mudra, back straight and eyes gently closed. Take a deep inhale and exhale completely. Inhale deeply and exhale completely. Relax your shoulders and neck. Relax your body completely. Let go of all the stress, worries, tensions, everything that's holding you back. And we are going to start our class with 3 chants of Omkara. Inhale. Feel the vibrations of Omkara chants. Feel the positivities and rub your palms. Make it warm. Cup your eyes. Feel the warmth and slowly open your eyes. Look at the palms. Awesome. So we're going to start our class on lying down the mat. So basically we are going to start with like very light stretches, very light massaging of the spine, and very slowly we'll keep building into the flow. So just lie down onto your mats and bend both the knees together, keeping your hands onto your knees, hands on your knees. Start rotating your knees clockwise. So when you're rotating your knees, you must be feeling that your lower back is getting a nice massage from the mat. This is how you start activating the muscles whenever you do any kind of sequence. It's very important that you give some sign to your body that you are starting with some workout, with some practice. Otherwise, you just go directly, try to work on stretching deeply and strengthening, and your body gets that message of protecting your muscles, so it becomes even more stiff. But if you prepare it first, if you go slowly, then your body understands that I need to be warmed up because she's going to or he's going to start working out now. So it's like you really have to go with the brain. You cannot just directly start. So going really slow. Okay, and relax. Now you're going to pull both the feet from the outer edges. Open from the knee joint and push your knees down towards the mat. This is a nice happy baby pose, which is going to help you open up your spine and your legs. And hold here. Deep and long breaths. Just keep relaxing your spine here. This is a very nice stretch. Also, it is very, very relaxing. Just hold for few more breaths. And relax. Now, keep your feet down very close to the hip. Inhale, hold your ankles and lift your hips up from the floor and come to a nice bridge pose. So you really have to lift your hips as high as you can. What you can do is to support your hip this way to get it even higher, and you're not supposed to move your neck because then you can get injured. So try to keep this chin locked onto the chest. You really have to lift your chest so high that your chin starts locking. And 3, 2, and 1. Slowly rest your hips down. Placing both the knees together. You just want to press them to the chest and relax. This is extending your spine, really nicely stretching it and giving it the message to be prepared. And relax. Now you're going to roll up and down and come up. You're going to come to your tabletop, palms and knees. A nice tabletop. Keeping your shoulders and wrists aligned, knees and hips aligned. As you inhale, press your spine down, lift your hips up, press your chest down and look up. Make a nice arch in the back. And as you exhale, you just want to just bring this navel in towards the spine and roll it. This is really helpful for preparing the spine. Inhale, press it down, look up, make a nice arch. Go very slow, right? Don't give those jhatkas, those jerks to your back. Exhale and roll. Inhale and up. Exhale and hunch. Inhale. Exhale. And relax. Now from here, you just want to walk forward with your palms as far as you can go. Try not to lift your hips like bring it forward or back. Just keep it aligned with the knee and drop your chest and chin down into the baby pose, into the puppy pose. This really would help you work on your upper back because we mostly work on the lower back. A lot of people do all the back bendings from the lower back. So it's very important that you start something which opens up the upper back as well, so you can keep it activated throughout the session. So just do this one, hold for 10 breaths and I'll ask you to come back. So stay here. Keep looking forward, don't look down. And slowly slide your body forward. Lie down onto your belly. Keep your hands beside your chest and come up to your Bhujangasana. Make sure you really roll your shoulders back. You don't want to keep it squeezed. Alright, so just roll your shoulders back. You can softly bend your elbows. Open your heart and look up. This is amazing stretch for your abdomen and also a nice back bending pose. So keep breathing here. This will help you tone up your belly, strengthen your back, open your shoulders and your heart. Keep breathing here and slowly exhale, lower down. Lower your chest down and breathe. Deeply inhale and exhale. Now keeping your right palm down, resting onto the mat, you want to hold with the left hand your right ankle and keeping the weight shifted on the right side. Inhale, lift your chest and leg up and come to Ardha Dhanurasana. 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Slowly lower your chest down and release the leg. Let's do it on the other side. So you want to have a look. If you want to, keep the one palm down. Like if I'm going to do with the right hand, I'm going to keep my left hand down. Then I'm going to hold my left ankle with the right hand and inhale, shifting the weight onto the left. Lift your body up and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Slowly down. Deeply inhale and exhale. Now as you inhale, again come to your Bhujangasana, rolling the shoulders back, look up, making a nice arch in the back. Keep lowering your abdomen. Exhale into Shashankasana. So when you do Shashankasana for relaxing the back, make sure you keep your knees together. If you're going for hip opening, then you can keep your knees extended. That's the only difference. Relaxing your Shashankasana. Alright, now inhale. Palms are down. Lift your knees and come to your Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Heels grounded, spine pressing in towards the legs and start pedaling up your legs. So keep pressing your spine in and keep bending your one knee and the other. Slowly. Keep breathing. Keep breathing deep and long. And relax. Now, you're going to bend both the knees together and press your spine in. And hold. Keep looking between the palms. This will help you strengthen and also it is going to really lengthen your spine. And exhale, heels down. Again, bend your knees. Heels will be lifted. Press it in. Look between the palms. Few breaths here. And exhale, heels down and relax. Now just you can drop your knees for a while and sit back in child's pose because you will be needing the strength of your arms to do all the other poses. So just rest them beside your body and few breaths here in and out. And relax. Place your palms forward. Lift your knees and hips. Come to your downward facing again. Now from your downward facing, you're going to inhale. See guys, look at this movement. This is going to be amazing to work on each and every vertebrae. You're not going to leave any of those. So, but this movement is all about mindfulness. How do you do it with all the awareness? So just have a look first and then do it, okay? So from down dog, you're going to lift your heels up and come on the toes. Then start, keep your head down only. Keep looking to the navel or to the toes. Then keep shifting your weight forward, pressing the hip down, come to your plank. So slow, press your shoulders forward. And when you come to the plank, then lift your head up, bend your knees, push your spine in, abdomen towards thighs, and exhale, slowly straighten your knees. So do you see it? I'm going to do it all together and show you. Coming on the toes. Shifting the weight forward, lift your head out, bend the knees, push back, down dog. So this is like a snake movement which will help you open each and every vertebrae. Also it's going to work on strengthening your arms. That is something we all want. So now let's do it all together. Okay, go very slow. If you go fast, maybe you won't feel that much. So go slow, inhale and flow. Into plank, look up, bend your knees, push back, come up. Keep going, don't stop. Make sure you only lift your head when you reach into the plank and keep going. Keep going, do it for 3 to 4 times. Remember that your heels will be always lifted. You only want to ground them when you go back to your down dog, then you can rest your heels down. Keep going, don't stop. Just flow this way. When you're going forward into the plank, then you want to look up Bend your knees and push back like you do the cow pose, and then straighten your knees, alright? One last time. Amazing, amazing. And relax. Now drop your knees and sit back into child's pose with stretching your arms beside your body. Relax here for a couple of breaths. Relax deep and long. Let your arms relax and let your spine get that length. Deep breaths in and out. Alright, placing your palms again onto the mat. Lift your knees and come to your down dog. From here, inhale. Step the right foot forward between the palm. Drop the left knee down and release the toes. Inhale, come up. Press your hips down. Stretch your arms up and try to arch back. Try not to force yourself a lot. Just go as much as you can easily. Don't try to force because we are just starting. And hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Place your palms down. Lift the left and step the right foot back. Now you're going to inhale and step the left foot forward. Dropping the right knee. Release the toes. Don't forget to push the hips forward. That's important. Inhale, stretch your arms up and look towards the thumbs. And hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Placing your palms down. Lift the right leg. Come forward into your forward fold. Keeping your feet slightly apart, like very less than the shoulders width. You're going to fold forwards as much as you can. This is morning. You have just woke up. You did not do a lot of stretches. So this is going to be very, very helpful. But remember to not to push a lot. So just go down and hold your opposite elbows. Push your spine down and very slowly move side to side. Really slow. Move side to side. Deep breaths. Keep breathing. And relax. Let go of those elbows. Slowly come up, opening one vertebrae at a time. Roll your shoulders back and relax. Just take a moment to wipe off your sweat. Just catch your breath and then we'll start with our upcoming asanas. Hope you guys are able to do everything. So till now we were doing like very light stretches. We were just warming up. So now we're going to do 2 rounds of Surya Namaskar, which will help your heart rate go up, which is like a cardio. And that's important to increase the blood supply. And once you do 2 rounds of Surya Namaskara, then we'll do more of back bending asanas. Also towards the end of the class, I'll teach you to do the wheel pose. So stay with me till then. Okay, so come on the top of your mat. Stand here. Inhale, stretch your arms up and look where your thumbs meet. Lengthen your spine. Exhale and fold forward. Rest your palms beside your feet. Inhale, hands onto the shins. Push your hips back and shoulders away from your ears. Come to a nice flat back. Exhale, place your palms down. Bend your knees, either step or jump back into Chaturanga. Releasing the toes, inhale, upward facing. Roll the shoulders back, look up. Hold in this one a little bit so that you can really work on lengthening your spine. And exhale into Adho Mukha. Heels down. 3 breaths here. Inhale and exhale. And relax. Bend your knees. Step or hop forward. Look up halfway. Lengthen your spine. Exhale completely down. Inhale. Stretch your arms up. Look up. and exhale, back to Samasthiti. Do one more round. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale halfway, hands on the shins, look up. Exhale, step or hop back, Chaturanga. Inhale, releasing the toes, Urdhva Mukha. We are going to hold in this one. Roll the shoulders back, open your heart, look up. Exhale into Adho Mukha, heels grounded. Deep breaths here, in and out. Inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, step or hop forward. Look up halfway. Lengthen your spine. Come to a nice flat back. Exhale, completely down. Inhale, stretch your arms. Look up. And exhale, back to Samasthiti. Relax your body. Deeply inhale and exhale. Starting with the flow. Inhale, stretch your arms up and look up. Exhale, fold forward. So these, even the halfway up, which is the flat back, helps you a lot to lengthen the spine. So inhale halfway and look up. This will help you a lot to get a lot of flexibility in the back. Press your upper back down, lower back in, and you exhale. Sorry. Exhale, bend your knees, step or hop back, Chaturanga. Inhale to Urdhva Mukha. Toes release, chest open, look up. Exhale, Adho Mukha. Downward facing, heels drop down. Deep and long breath here. Now from your down dog, you're going to bend the right knee and turn your body to place the right foot out of to the right side, to the left side. Then you're going to keep your weight onto the left. Open your chest towards the ceiling and stretch your right arm back. I'll be doing it to the side. I would again explain. I know this is a little confusing, but it's not that hard. So you're going to stay in the down dog. Lift the right foot. Place it on the left side. Now open your heart and lift your chest towards the ceiling and stretch your right arm back. And hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back to your down dog and relax your body. Deeply inhale and exhale. Now you're gonna move through your vinyasa. Inhale here. Exhale to Chaturanga. Inhale Urdhva Mukha and exhale Adho Mukha. Let's do the same pose other side. So you're gonna lift the left leg, bend the knee, place it outside. Inhale. To do a little this side. So placing the left on the right side. Inhale, open your heart, your chest, stretch the left arm back and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming back to the down dog. Push your spine in and move through your vinyasa. I have to do a lot of adjustment. You can see my sweat. It's just dropping off with just one asana. It's really deep. Inhale here. Exhale to Chaturanga. Inhale Urdhva Mukha. And exhale Adho Mukha. Drop your knees and relax in child's pose. Relax your body. Deep and long breath. Deep and long inhale and exhale. Now once you relax, you're going to come up onto your knees. Keeping your knees hips width apart or shoulders width apart. Stretch your arms forward and go step by step back. Rest your hands onto the heels. Push your hips forward and fall back with the neck. Now if you cannot go all the way there, you can keep your hands onto your waist. Push your hips forward and bend back. Alright, and hold. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly forward, keeping the knees together, child's pose, and relax. Deep breaths in and out. And relax. Alright, so now your body is amazingly has been worked on. You must be feeling super nice on the back. You must be feeling very, very flexible. So let's do the wheel pose. So you're going to lie down onto your mat. Just simply lie down. Keep both the knees bent closer to the hip. Alright, now how do you go into the pose is very important. So the position, the alignment is also there. So firstly, keeping the knees bent, heel closer to the hip. The next thing that you do is to place the palm. So how do you place the palm? You just stretch your arm up. This is just to teach you the alignment. You bend from the elbow and you place your palm here so that your fingers are pointing towards the heels. Alright, not like this. You always want to place your palm down so the fingers point towards the heel. And then you're going to first shift your weight onto the legs and lift your hips up. Alright, so go step by step, no hurries at all. So first you want to lift your hips up and then you shift all your weight towards the arms and you lift your chest up. Once you lift your chest up, then you get all the weight onto your head. And a lot of people would be there who can do till here only. They cannot lift all the way up. So then in that case you need strength of the arms and it's not about the back bend now, it's about the strength of arms, which will come only by practicing the same pose after warming up. Alright, because your muscle need to get that memory. So you're going to place it here, shifting the weight, lift your chest up and then head up. Walk your hands closer towards the feet, shifting the weight towards arms and hold. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and when you want to come back, look up and down. Don't drop the crown of your head directly. Always look up, take your head up and drop your chest down. Alright, beautiful. Now bend both the knees and press them into your chest. This is a counter pose, which is very, very important whenever you do any kind of, just keep pressing it, keep squeezing it. Whenever you do any kind of intense pose, it's very important that you always do the counter pose so that the pain does not stay in your body. You always release it with doing the counter pose, alright? So deep breaths here. Alright, now keep hugging the right knee and stretch the left leg forward. Keep hugging the right knee and stretch the left leg forward. Now if you don't have neck related issues like pain or cervical spondylitis, then you can lift your head and touch the nose to the knee. But if you have neck related, keep your head down and simply press the knee. Deep breaths here, in and out. And relax. Rest your head down. Using your left hand, you want to twist the right knee to the left side and look over your right arm. And breathe here. Deep and long. Deep and long breaths. Just completely relax. This is to relax the spine. This is called reclining twist, which helps to release any kind of muscle pull-up. If you have any stiffness that you have left in the back, this is going to release it, and this is going to help you to stay out of the pain throughout the day. But if you just do such an intense sequence, intense back bends, and if you don't do these twists, you see the pain stays the entire day and even worse the next morning. So always do these twists whenever you end up the class, any kind of class. Always relax your back and center. Now pressing the left knee into the chest. And if you don't have neck related issues, lift the head up, nose to the knee. Shoulders will be relaxed. And head down. Using your right hand, twist the left knee to the right side. Look over your left arm. Keep breathing deep and long. Just keep pressing your knee down, your shoulders down. You don't want to lift your knee or your shoulder. Both of them should be grounded. And center. Pressing both the knees together into the chest and roll up and down. Roll. This is going to help you massage your spine. Really amazing. And relax. Lie down onto your mat. Keep your legs stretched front. Arms open to the sides. Just keep your feet apart. Palms facing roof. Completely relax your body in Shavasana and bring the blood flow to the regular. Keep your breath really long and deep so your body can relax even faster. Eyes closed and relax. Just relax each and every part of your body. Feel your body relaxing. And slowly start moving your toes and fingers. Bring your feet together. Stretch your arms back and feet forward. Stretch your body completely. And relax. Turn towards one side. And sit up. We are going to practice pranayam now. So sit with the spine straight, as this is morning, so I'm just assuming none of you had anything like breakfast or something. So we can do our pranayam, which is going to work on stomach as well. So I'm just turning on comments, so if you guys have to ask anything. Alright, so we are going to start our pranayam practice with Kapalbhati. Kapalbhati is not actually a pranayam. It's a cleansing process. It's in Shatkarma, which helps you a lot detoxing your body, whatever toxins you have. If you have like anything like in the organs, it is going to take it out through the breath. So we're gonna do that. How to do Kapalbhati is to firstly keep the spine straight, the most important part of pranayam. Then you just want to inhale once, and when you exhale forcefully, then you want to make sure that this part, which is your abdominal part, it moves in. Do you see it? So this is going to move in, the muscles are going to contract, and you do not inhale. The inhalation will be always passive, only the exhalation will be active. So you keep exhaling, exhaling, exhaling. The inhalation will be passive. You need not do that. So do at least 100 strokes in one go. Also, you had tea, it's fine, you can still do it. Yeah, so also if you guys, any one of you is chumming, or if you have high blood pressure, yeah, these are the two things. If you have high blood pressure or hernia or something related to that, please avoid practicing Kapalbhati. If you have low blood pressure or regular, you can do that. If you are not chumming, you can do it. If you haven't eaten anything, you can do it. Alright, so now let's start. the strength of exhalations depends on person to person. Maybe you do more forcefully, I do less, but that's all fine. Your body will still understand. Also, how many exhalation you do, it absolutely the practice that you do. If you can do 50, then take a break and do another 50. If you can do 100 in one go, that's the best thing. Okay, now keep exhaling. Remember not to stress your face. No, don't do that. Keep your face really relaxed. Let your nostril does its work, and keep exhaling very forcefully so that you really release all the toxins. Okay, keep exhaling. Don't stop. Just keep listening to me and keep exhaling. Just do as many as you can in one go. Keep exhaling, keep exhaling, keep exhaling. And then if you feel also, if you have slip disc or serious back pain, then take breaks in between your strokes. Now I have started getting a lot of pressure on my lower back, sides of my back. I'm sure you must be getting it too. So what you can do to release it is just sit this way that you are sitting, hands on your knees and up to your cow. Just open your heart, roll the shoulders back and down. Exhale to your cat. Just do it 2 to 3 times. It will really help you relax all the stress on the back. Okay, so now that you are done with Kapalbhati, your body has already been activated. So we're gonna do Bhastrika Pranayam, which is also great to increase the blood supply towards the torso, towards the head, which will help you get a glowing face, glowing skin, good hair. Like, it will also reduce the hair fall, and it's really great to kind of activate everything in the body. There would be no part which will not be having that supply of blood. So we are going to practice it now, the Bhastrika Pranayam. So how do you do that? This is Bhastrika Pranayam, where inhalation, exhalation both are active, forceful but still long. It's not like short like Kapalbhati. It is really long and forceful. So normally you do it. So if you notice, earlier I was using my abdominal area, and to do Bhastrika I used my thoracic region. So I'm using my chest and shoulder. So a lot of people like who are beginner, it's really hard to practice this way. So what is the easier version to do that is to keep the arms here and inhale and exhale with the movement of your arm, which will help you move your shoulders and of course your chest as well. So you can do that or this one, whatever feels comfortable to you. You should be doing it correctly though. So as you inhale, just use all your strength to push up. Exhale, completely down. It should be very forceful, fast and long. Okay, so we're going to do just 10 rounds of it, and I'm sure you will feel so heavy with the head. Like, I know I do it a lot of times and I feel like immediately all the blood has started flowing towards my head. So what you do after doing it, just fold forward and relax the blood supply. Alright, so let's do it. 10 10 strokes, inhalation, exhalation both. Let's start. Arms here. And relax. Once you are done with 10 rounds, just fold forward, rest your head down and relax. Just relax. Let your blood flow be regulated. It's okay to feel a little dizzy. It's okay to feel that headache or any sort of heaviness in the head. That's absolutely fine. It's very, very normal. Just make sure you don't practice it if you are chumming, or if you have high blood pressure or any kind of headache which is like severe, so you can avoid it. And relax. Come back up. So now that your body is nicely activated, then what we are going to do is Nadi Shodhan, because your body is so much into heat now. You have done Kapalbhati, you have done Bhastrika, so you have increased the heat in the body temperature is high. So we're going to release it and balance it. So you're going to bend the first two, index and middle finger. With the thumb, you're going to close the right nostril and start inhaling through left, exhale through another. Keep going with alternate nostrils. And relax. Don't open your eyes directly. Keep your eyes closed. We are going to chant one Omkara and then we'll complete the session. Inhale. Feel the vibrations of Omkara chants. Feel the positivities and rub your palms. Make it warm. Keep rubbing until it gets warm and then cup your eyes. Feel that warmth. Slowly open your eyes and look at the palms. Thank you so much everybody for joining me in this class. Hope you guys had a great class. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you guys have any questions or anything for me. I would love to answer. Okay, so someone is asking that I had a C-section. Is it okay to do Kapalbhati? See, it totally depends on how it was and how you feel right now and how long has it been for you to deliver. So if you have been, it's been 6 to 9 or 1 year, like if it's so long, then I think you can practice. But still, to start off with, you really need to consult with your doctor. Because they know your condition better, so they will suggest you whether you can put pressure on this area or not. But if I suggest, I would suggest to not to take a risk. If you have just delivered like 3 or 4 months back or 2 months back, don't start off with this so early. You first consult with your doctor. He would or she would be knowing your condition better and will suggest you to do it or not, and then you can start with very less number of strokes, like start with 10 and then the next day you do 20, then keep it 30 for a week, and then maybe the next week you go 40, 50, on and on. So yeah, that's something that you have to be very careful about and go with only doctor's consultants. The next is Hina ji is asking, is the class just started? No, Hina ji, we already have completed our practice.